and welcome to Infinitely Lily. My name is Maria, and I am a trance channel giving collective energy updates to the collective here, as well as divine masculine and divine feminine energy intuitive readings here. Today, I have been guided to share some energy updates happening in the collective. In regards to the awakening of the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies collectively within us and within ourselves and our divine counterpart. So you might resonate with a twin flame, cosmic connection, soulmate, whatever kind of connection you resonate with. This message might resonate with both you and your partner, or it might resonate with you personally, with your divine masculine and your divine feminine energies within yourself as they are awakening and coming into balance, coming into harmony. My channel is all about creating balance and harmony within ourselves and within our connections with our divine counterpart. That really will be my focus here, as I've been guided to share what I'm learning as I learn it, and give you the breaking news updates of what I've been going through, the collective downloads I've been receiving, and the breakthroughs I've been having with myself. I've said this before, we are all open to the energies pouring in at this time. If we can really open ourselves up, we can ground those energies and allow them to become conscious knowledge. Every time we receive conscious knowledge, we upgrade our 3D self, allowing it to merge with our 5D higher self. Rather than having them so separate, they're actually coming together. This is also a limited belief that the collective experiences, is that we are going to ascend to the 5D and leave the 3D behind. It is just because there's become this imbalance. The 3D, I believe, and I've just had this breakthrough last week, the 3D self, the 3D ego, is created here once we come into Earth. I've seen it just last week during meditation, that when we're born, we aren't given any guidance about what the heck's going on here. We're just, one day we wake up in this new world and nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about this phenomenon that seems, astounding to the young mind. It's like, what am I? What am I doing here? Why am I here? What's going on? What's this thing? What's those things? They're like, oh, learn to read, learn to write. But, I feel like desperately inside of all of us, our soul is screaming, why? Why is this happening? On a soul level, we do remember, but on a soul conscious level, we're like, what is going on here? I can't quite remember. I'm not grounding these energies. Like, what is this? It's like there's this elephant in the room, or it's almost like if you went to the doctor and you grew a unicorn horn out your forehead, and you're like looking at the doctor, like waiting for him to just say, like, why do you have a unicorn horn? And they don't acknowledge it. They're like, you look fine, you look good. And you're like, no, hello, I have a unicorn horn sticking out of my forehead. This can't be normal. And I feel like there's this desperate need from the early stages of childhood to validate this like extreme curiosity and this extreme need to have something to grasp onto about what the heck's going on here. And I feel like this has caused the 3D ego to create. So I was shown last week during my meditation that around the age of 4, that's when we start getting really ourself. Like, okay, this is me. I have to own this energy. I claim this body, whatever. I'm not so much, just unified energy. I'm really trying to figure out what I am. There's this desperate need around the age of 4 when we really start to come into that energy of like just clinging to whatever we think we might be. It's like, maybe I'm this, maybe I'm that. And we just like grab onto things. We pull them into our field and be like, okay, this is what I am, I guess. This is what I need to do. This is, and it's like, okay, oh, my name. Oh, that's what I am. And we create this 3D ego based out of fear because we don't have any guidance. We don't know who we are. The energy of the 3D ego, I'm seeing this right now as I talk, and this is just generally how I work. I will talk to you. I will be learning and channeling as I speak. It's like the 3D ego is such a limiting term. All physical words are labeling energy, right? The energy existed first, and then we created a word to describe the energy. It wasn't the other way around. So we described this energy of desperate clinging to things as the 3D ego, as the mind. So we created this mind, this 3D mind, not consciousness, but the 3D mind that we associate with ourselves, our who we think we are, because we had no reference at all. We were just given everything, and we're like, Kate, figure it out. We're not going to tell you that you are a soul coming into a body to learn itself and create, and that you have the ability to manifest your reality, and your thoughts create it, and your intuitive energy and what energy you exude attracts. We don't ever hear that. Maybe they're like, oh, they're not ready yet. They're not old enough to understand. And then we wait till they're, in their midlife crisis in their 20s when they're going through their dark night of the soul. And then we finally tell them, oh yeah, you're a soul here, and yeah, you can create whatever you say and whatever you feel and whatever you think. These all have energies, and these energies attract to whatever it is you desire, or they repel things. And then this person's like, well, why didn't someone tell me this? I would have saved me a lot of struggles. But obviously those are struggles we desire here as a soul. But as we are awakening and remembering these divine feminine, divine masculine energy within us, and as they're balancing, we are realizing that we don't have to create this negative energy anymore. Anything out of balance creates negative energy. We are coming into balance. Therefore, we're creating more positive energy. The more positive energy we create, the less suffering we have. Therefore, a child can grow up always knowing itself as a soul in a physical body, going through the journey of life, getting to know itself with the ability to create limitlessly. And once we know that, oh my God, here comes utopia on earth, right? So I believe that we are starting to upgrade the 3D ego. When I first went through my awakening, I unconsciously suppressed the 3D ego. I just became my higher self. I was just my higher self all the time. And anytime my negative emotions came up, I would just kind of look at them from a separate perspective, like they weren't mine, out of this curiosity about what they were. And I see a lot of people doing this, or maybe have done this, because I think this was a collective experience, because we just didn't have the energy to understand yet. But I think the energy has been available to us now, so we understand that this is actually just suppressing the 3D ego and making it mad, making it stronger. Well, this desperate thing inside of us needs to be validated. It's trying to prove itself, right? Like that's what I've realized, around the age of 4, we grasp desperately onto something to try to figure out who we are. And then we feel our whole lives we have to prove ourselves to be something that we think we are, or something that we think we're not. That is like literally what we're doing. Either our parents are very strict and they want us to be this way, and we rebel because we feel like we're this way, we feel obligated, and then we go in the opposite direction, or we have absolutely no guidance, and then we become like very strict with ourselves, trying to figure out what we are. Anyway, all of these imbalances is what create the ego. And we are learning now that suppressing it and being above it, that air that we get from the spiritual ego, replacing the 3D ego with the spiritual ego. That's what I did in the beginning of my awakening. I was like, okay, this is my 3D ego. I'm going to create my spiritual, I mean, spiritual. I was so spiritual, I clung onto spirituality then. This is who I am now. And that created a spiritual ego, which was just as out of balance as my 3D ego, which caused me a lot of grief. It caused me a lot more fear than I'd ever been used to. Um, Part of my journey, of course, if you've been through it, it's definitely part of the journey. Um, but in that energy, it's like everything is love, everything is always good, everything is beautiful. And when you're there, it really is. But it's because you're suppressing emotion. Emotion, I have found, is energy that's stuck, to you. Feelings, in our natural state, I believe we feel. Energy comes in and it goes out. It comes in and it goes out. Fluidity, it's motion, it's moving. When an emotion comes and a feeling comes in and we hold on to it because of fear, happiness, I don't want to be unhappy, so I'm going to hold on to this happiness. Or I'm sad, how long is the sadness going to last? We cause it. What we resist persists, or what we fear sticks. And these feelings, which are supposed to come and go, become emotions. Emotions are, I have seen, or I believe, are trapped energy. These trapped energies block our chakras and cause us to become imbalanced. And these imbalances to cause us to have suffering. And these sufferings come from the egoic mind, because our egoic mind created the fear that'll cause these imbalances or cause these energies to stick and become emotion. So if you are looking and you're like trying to figure out, okay, everyone's talking about shadow work, and going within. What does this mean? It means that you need to go to where your emotions are and look there. That is where your imbalances lay, and that is where your shadow is. So when you're out and with your friends and you're happy and you're your highest self, you're centered, everything's good, you're not going to see your shadow. You're not going to notice your shadows there. No shadow exists. In the beginning of a relationship, when you exude your best qualities, it's not so much it's a lie, it's just that you're suppressing your emotion, your emotional side, your emotional self, your 3D self, the self that clung to things to try, I'm going to hold this in my field, I'm going to hold this. It's just like a hoarder. Your 3D self is a hoarder. It's created all these things, trying, it's not like it's doing it to hurt you. It's just that this is what it thought it had to do. This is what you thought you had to do, because you didn't understand the bigger picture of who you are and what you're doing here. And we're realizing now that we can ascend this energy by going and doing the shadow work. So that means that when you are triggered, what does triggered mean? You've hit one of these pockets of held energy, and now its program is running through your mind, literally through your neurotransmitters on a physical level, through the connections in your brain. When this feeling is hit, this feeling of rejection, we run this program. This program is fight or flight. We have to get out of here. We have to either fight for our lives or we have to run away. There's no such thing as accepting that we are being rejected. That would be too easy. But if you do that, it will go away. Those are the big ones: the fear of rejection, the fear of abandonment, the fear of failure. And they stick to our organs and they stick in our bodies. And right now, Spirit is showing me that there's this energy right here. This is actually my left side. I almost hear the word spleen energy. So if someone watching here has some kind of issue with their spleen and lower flank, even maybe in the kidney area, I feel like the energy of rejection is stuck here with you. So the way to clear this is literally to accept it, but it has to be accepted when it is triggered authentically. You can go in there and you can meditate on it and release it and blah blah blah. But it's like training to go to war. You're training yourself to go to war. You're fighting with your combat, whatever, your other people, and you're fighting with like fake swords, and then you're like, okay, I'm ready for war. And then when you're actually in the war, it's completely different. So you can, during meditation, you can train yourself for what you're gonna do in the moment that you feel rejection authentically, for real, unexpectedly, or whatever. But you can't fully really understand it enough to let it go until it's in action. And that's why, we run from the news, we run from all these things that scare us all the time, when they actually have the opportunity, not saying that they're good or bad, or that you should watch the news, or that you shouldn't, but that you could go in there and it will trigger things that you need to be triggered, to clear your energy, so they can help you point out where your shadow is. So when you finally you meditate and you see, okay, when I feel the fear of rejection, I'm going to relax and I'm going to accept the feeling of rejection, the feeling of being rejected. Not that I'm a bad person and that blah 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 blah. You're gonna have those strong energetic boundaries with yourself. No, I'm not going there. Not allow my mind to wander that far away. Your mind likes to, it should, I mean not should, but generally our mind is very happy when it stays in our field. Lots of times our mind will wander too far away. You'll lose your mind, or got away on you, or whatever, all the sayings we have. And your mind will go deep into this rabbit hole of self-pity and self-loathing. And we have to bring it back. Say, whoa. So you feel rejection. Someone says, oh, when you did this thing, it really, it was bad. And you're like, I'm sorry. Oh my God. I was bad. They don't like me. They don't love me. Nobody loves me. And you go down this rabbit hole of worst case scenario. And now you're probably going to be in this trigger for 3 days. You're self-loathing and you're self-destructive for 3 whole days, or maybe 3 years. Sometimes we literally stay in these energies for a long time. Or you could see that your mind's starting to wander outside of its zone, and you snap it like a dog off a leash. Whoa, get back in check. I'm not going there. I have strong energetic boundaries with myself and with others. First, I realize this is their thing, not mine. They are not approving of something I did. That doesn't reflect me to be a bad person. That is just their point of view. That is my boundary with them. Oh, that's their point of view. But if you feel the energy of rejection coming up, you're going to feel it and accept it. Oh, I'm being rejected right now by this person. Not I'm rejectable material and no one will ever love me. No, this person is rejecting me. And you allow it to come in. And you feel either the remorse of maybe you need to apologize. Maybe you did hurt their feelings or you did something wrong. Or maybe you just simply listen to their perspective without judgment. And that energy comes up and it goes. And when it goes, your life will change forever and you will never be the same person again. Maybe not so extreme, but seriously, when it happened to me for the first time, which wasn't that long ago, after all these years, I was looking okay, you have to meditate, blah, blah, blah. I was looking at all the light. I'm like, well, that's not where the real work is done. That's when you're training for battle. But the real work is done in the battlefield, when you're being shot at and you're being hurt. That is where your shadow is. That's where, you'll find the most deepest layers of yourself and the ability to really transcend the emotional realm by letting those emotions finally go out of your field, so that your spleen can finally get better and heal. Let's just breathe this out. If you're feeling this energy, let's just breathe it out. Good job. And as you release those energies, maybe you felt that, you are capable of releasing rejection. If you are able to bring it up authentically, you can release it without being in battle. Because maybe the rejection is self-rejection, and that you can actually trigger it yourself. When that happens, Spirit just showed me that you can actually, you feel sometimes I get like this popping in my head, this crunching. Sometimes you'll get like a wave of warm, or sometimes you may even get a headache. Um, this is new connections being made. And as new connections being made, old connections have to kind of disintegrate or dissolve. And it can create pain in our heads, and we can feel different things going on. And our heart too, our heart has memory. So you might feel heart pain, or your heart might skip a beat, or it might do something as it's reprogramming itself. Oh, Spirit's feeling like, I feel they're thanking me, so I feel like there's someone here that needed to hear that. I'm just grounding here, seeing what other information is coming through, making sure I got all my points across there, because I know I open all the doors at once, and sometimes I don't finish some points as I'm going through them. Yeah, so as we start to do this shadow work in the battlefield, when we're being triggered, right? When these buttons are being pushed, when we start to accept them and let them go. He is rejecting me, not I'm being rejected, I'm bad. He is rejecting me. Having those strong energetic boundaries with your mind. No mind, I'm not going into self-pity. I can feel a little bit of pity because, this is a hard thing that I'm going through, whatever it is, if it is hard, if you feel it's hard. But I'm not going to go too far. Every energy has a balance. The energy of pity has a balance. Too much pity becomes self-destruction. Not enough pity becomes like overconfidence. What's the energy of the word? Arrogance, really. It's like, I'm too good to have emotion, or I'm too good to be pitiful. Pity in balance is felt and released. Felt and released. If you hold on to it, it can become self-destructive. If you reject it, I don't ever feel pity, then you could, you're creating another imbalance, and you're becoming arrogant to the energy of pity, which will just actually stick it to your field, stick it to your aura. So I'll be doing energy readings with people, and Spirit does drawings for people. So they'll draw, and sometimes it'll be like on their aura, and there's this big long snake hanging off of it, and oh, that's the energy of pity. They feel it deep inside of them. They sense it in their field, but they never have actually accepted it. And now it's become this thing that drags them down, like they're carrying around blocks, and they have back pain because it's heavy. Real things like that, they really do happen. The baggage, that person had a lot of baggage, yeah, because they had a lot of things they weren't willing to accept, so they just had them on the back of their aura, and they were just stuck to their energy field. So acceptance means you're open to the energy. Doesn't mean it has to stay, and you don't let your mind get away on you about getting involved so much about what you're feeling. You're just letting it in and letting it out. This person is rejecting me right now. This person is disappointed with me right now. This person is causing me to feel abandoned right now. You can, everyone will have a slightly different belief system around the energy. Yes, wow. Okay, I feel this energy needed to be out there so badly. So as we do this, as we start to get the baggage off of ourselves, our 3D self starts to rise up and meet with our 5D self. And that's when we get oneness starts to come in. All these people that I used to be obsessed with it. I'm going to ascend. I could feel this energy. I would ascend. I was like literally creating the energy. It's because I was ascending my 3D self, but I was just like leaving him behind. Her, I'm Aries, so my 3D self is more masculine. And I was completely out of my body, completely unaware of what my body wanted, my intuition, because, in order to be here, you have to be here. That's if you try to be above yourself, literally, as your 5D self, sure, it might be gloryful, and it might be really liberating, but it's not why we're here. We need to be in this body. We need to own it. We need to, take charge of it, take responsibility for it. Say, this is my body to take care of. I am here to take care of this field. This is, and just own that energy. Claim it to the universe. It's very important. It helps you establish these energetic boundaries. And this allows you to be in your body, your 5D self, your 3D self, your mundane self, your mystical self. All of these become this center right there. Touch it. See if you can feel that point where all of you exists as one. One. It's not my 3D mind, my 5D self, my emotional mind, my mental mind, my energetic self. It's everything is one energy, exists in one package. Just breathe that self in there. That is complete balance, complete harmony, complete oneness within the self. You might feel blockages just shoot off of you. I can feel them right now. As you come to balance, literally there's only positive energy. So if you do this once every day of just tuning in and finding your center point, you remove all the negativity off your field. And then you move into your day completely unobstructed by negative energy. Your emotions are they're still there. The blockages may still be there, but your energy is clear. I should say your energy will be clear, but the programming that attracts the energy will still be there. So this is why when you go and get Reiki done, you leave and you feel like you're glorious because they balanced your energy, they've cleared it. But your mind takes time. It's in the physical, your brain, literally, your nervous system, your neurons, they take time to connect and make new connections and get rid of old connections. They generally say about 3 weeks. Generally takes about 3 weeks to make a new habit. So you can be so centered and you can walk out of your bedroom after meditating all morning and your boyfriend says, "Oh, what are you wearing? That is not a flattering outfit." And all these things can come and suck you back in and they're all back again instantly because you didn't apply what you learned in the training field to the battlefield. And this will just take time, and then one will hit you, one blockage will come back and hit you, and then that will trigger this one, and that one will trigger that one, and then all of a sudden next thing you know, you're covered, and it's been 3 weeks, and you're stuck with all these negative emotions. So yeah, that's when you hear those negative energies, and you accept. And you just turn into this translucent energy, and the energy just goes, and it just comes and goes. It just comes and goes. Obviously, you can be strong. Energetically when someone crosses a line. A boundary. These are so important. Boundaries are when you know right and wrong. You can really only know a boundary when you have balance, because then you can see the line. This is the line. That person crossed the line of what's fair and unfair. Boundaries just mean what's fair and unfair. Where's my moral code here? When you're in alignment, you will know instantly. That person is being rude. That person is being insensitive. I call it truth bomb. Whoa, excuse me. No, not happening today. Not putting up with that. No. Strong, assertive, powerful energy. Empowered. When you are empowered, those energies they will just fluidly come out of your mouth. You'll be like, whoa, I just said that. Oh my God. And you feel so good about it. Like, wow, it came out so perfectly. Because you knew, you established your energetic boundaries. They crossed them and you said no. Just like a force field or electric fence, bad. Absolutely not. Not today. All right. I'm going to leave this at that because we got to the 30-minute mark already and I don't want anyone to miss the end of this video. I will be back here. I'm going to try to do a few videos a week. I'm really working through technological learning curves, but once I get those figured out, I really do want to make these videos more professional looking, but we'll see how that works. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Send me a hi in the comments if this resonated with you, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much.